Hey everybody, welcome back to That's Good Stuff. We are finishing our review of the Amazon series Citadel. Jared, Michael, and Thomas are with me today. And we're just gonna talk about this. We're gonna get our feelings.
Let's talk about it.
We're just gonna see what this show made us feel. So we got 3 episodes. Episode 4 is Tell Her Everything. Episode 5 is Time Renders Us Enemies, and episode 6 was Secrets in Night Need Early Rains. That title is terrible. um, so for these 3 episodes, they were pretty short. I guess the series has always been short. I really didn't notice. But these ones seem really short. The first 2, 4 and 5, were very flashback heavy. But I guess comparing these to the other episodes, these were like where the secrets were. So I was kind of digging 4 and 5, but then 6 kind of like went off a cliff for me. And I'll tell you why when we get to it. But let's go back to 4. Do you guys remember what 4 was about?
Give us the recap, Joseph.
Let's see here.
I don't even remember.
I literally watched this, I think, yesterday.
I watched this morning.
It's like a weird blur of...
Well, before we came on, we were talking about how this show blurs together.
Did you see Rolling Stone's headline about the show?
No.
It was like, Amazon's $300 million disaster. It's like,
Oh my god.
This is the one where they
It was
basically kind of not recap, but like, it's a recap of Mason's wife's like backstory and why.
Is that this episode? Or
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay,
Okay.
so we find out that the wife
is also a spy.
Yeah, in Citadel. And Nadia like brought her into the organization.
They were buds.
Yeah, and Mason was suspicious the whole time of her. And she goes on a mission. I forget what the mission was. It was
to get a key.
they were supposed
Yeah,
to...
well-
This is the one where the lady was blackmailing him, or not blackmailing him, but like forcing him to do the bidding, right?
Well, this is the
This
one
with
where
the water, and he's like...
well, that's
this-
in the present.
Yeah,
that's
the-
that's the.
Oh, we're talking about
This
the
is
past
where
mission.
Okay, this is where she gets with one of the twins, and
Yeah.
see, it is a loved one, Michael, not a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah,
It
I
wasn't a
I
child.
went back because it was in the recap, and I had to rewind it because I wasn't paying attention because of the previously. And then he said it, I was like, hold on. I went back 10 seconds. He was like, yeah, I love her. The guy looks like your dad. That's weird.
Well, we see that loving going on, and
They do make the loving.
her mission is to get him to fall in love with her, believe the lie, as Mason kept saying.
No, tell the
And,
truth is what he said. You tell the truth.
He said something about lying and
'Cause
truth telling. I don't know.
Why were they trying?
That whole scene
What are they-
bothered me so much.
Which one?
So we get our first introduction to like the base station of the spy people, you know?
Mhm.
And like a big problem with the show for me is like it feels like they're in charge. Like
Yeah,
what's
the
her face,
spies.
Lady? Like you don't see anyone else till like what episode 5, whatever. And so they're like in the base station and they're telling her, inducting the new spy in the room with no one else around, no equipment, just a table and a creepy sci-fi looking room. Like there's no chain of command. There's no like giving orders. It's just this weird like.
There is no communication. There's no oversight. There's no planning.
It's
It's just
so
like, guess what?
bad.
You guys have like, I think this vague like description of what you're supposed to do. So, go do it. And
you're a spy
we're never going to like, check up on you except when we want to check up on you.
Yeah.
And when we want to check up on you, you better like do it now. Otherwise, we think you've turned, and we're going to immediately like overreact.
Well, they have Grace who gives them orders, and they're like, "No, we're gonna do it this way." And she's
She
like,
does
"Oh, okay."
nothing. She stands in one room and gives no orders, no commands. No one does anything she says. She's just like, well, I can't authorize that. I'm like, what can you authorize? Can you authorize anything? Can you do anything?
And Stanley
Nothing.
Tucci's character is more like a dad than anything.
Yeah.
You just like go to him for advice.
Apparently, he's supposed to be like their Q, but I was under the impression the first 3 episodes that he was like in charge. But
No, I always thought of him as just like the tech guy or like the
He
Yeah.
created that
Computer
program,
guy.
right?
The sci-
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's talking about like how he like not how he like, but he was like the mentor of Mason or whatever, and we don't really get that anymore. And now in these like last 3 episodes, he's just kind of, even in the flashbacks, he's just like at a desk, like not doing much, like until that one part. But we'll get to that in a minute.
There was also okay. What were they trying to steal? They called it something. It was basically
the Q code, Q key, no, something key.
Cutie.
it had a name.
Yeah.
Heck if I remember.
It's like for all the freaking nukes or whatever that they have. This is like the originator of this thing,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah,
like the
I'm trying
Q
to-
code or something like that.
No, it's like a name. It's like
It's-
No,
There is-
it's a letter, and then it has something.
Hold on.
We're all trying
Talk
to look
about
it up.
something else.
It's not there. But anyway, so she goes on this mission, and something happens because she's supposed to recover this thing, but the twin is there, and they kind of fight it out. And she comes back to the base, and she doesn't have the thing, and everyone's like, "Where's the thing?" And so Mason's like, "Oh, you're a traitor. You're a dirty traitor. So let's interrogate you." And Nadia's like, "Oh, she didn't do it. I know she didn't do it." And we find out why she knows she didn't do it. But Mason's like, "We gotta wipe her mind because she like knows something that she shouldn't know." But it blends in with 5. All the secrets we learn about Mason. There was one scene because it shows like Mason and Nadia kind of having a relationship. There was this one weird scene though where they're like, she hands him, I don't remember if it's him or her, but they hand each other like this drink. And it looks like they're drinking motor oil. It's it's like a flask, but
It looks like the dark rum thing from Fallout 76. Like it looks like it should be in the wasteland of Fallout. Like it's not a good looking bottle. The bottle looks like it's like it has rust on it. And yeah, they're like, "Oh, the good stuff." I'm like,
yeah. It's like that's motor oil.
and they never bring it up
That's
again.
motor oil.
They never bring up why that drink is significant again. It's just there in that one scene. So I don't know.
And the twin gets killed really fast because you thought he'd like,
Yeah, I thought they were gonna go
Kinda.
off together.
yeah, kind of help him escape, but no, he gets shot really fast by not Helen Mirren.
Then he has like the power down moment where he's like
Well-
still choking him but bleeding internally.
Well, I also like how she shot him, and then she's like, she's like, "Whatever, bitch," or whatever. I'm just like, "I'm sorry," but he took a round to the forehead, and he almost killed a guy.
Yeah.
I know.
That guy's pretty
Pretty
tough.
impressive.
Like, I was like, yeah, I was like, maybe like some grace for the dead who almost killed you. But whatever.
The Oz key.
Oz key.
Ozkey. I was gonna say Ozymandias for some reason, but okay, so we get into 5. What the heck was 5 about?
Well,
Five.
they also like tried to target Stanley Tucci's kids, or sorry, not kid, but kid and wife and daughter, and Mason's daughter and wife. And then they kind of like went down further and were never really seen again till like later on that we saw. Like it doesn't really give an explanation what happened to that house either, because we never saw it explode or anything else like that. So I don't know.
Is this the one where they like, where she the bad guy like makes the deal with them, or that already happened, didn't it? What the heck happened in 5?
It says in this one that Nadia, Kyle, and Carter are forced to work together to escape the Manticore.
Oh
Project-
yeah. Also
Protect the X. I can't read.
They also ran into Carter, which was
yeah.
the guy that was in
Yeah,
Citadel
just like-
that thought Nadia was their traitor.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's all blending. I
And
can't
then
remember
the
what
Citadel
happened.
team
not gonna lie
races to
though,
recover-
the dread look, that was kind of cool. Look cool.
Yeah, he did look good with the dreads. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say prison did stuff for him, but he looked a lot better.
I feel like this one was just a bunch of flashbacks too, just like,
Yeah.
hey, this is how you know these people, and like,
This is also where we found out that Nadia was pregnant. Right?
Yes.
yeah, she got BB.
Yeah, and that's why she had to have the Oz code or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay. So she stole. It turns out she's the one that stole that key or whatever it is.
'Cause her dad's a bad guy or something like that.
Yeah, like a known terrorist.
And then she says she did it because she thought it was too much power for one individual to have, or one organization to have. And then we find out Mason
Also tried to propose to her too.
Yeah, proposed to her. Had a big honking ring.
That was a big ring.
That was an extensive scene. It
also-
looks so real.
Also, like a lot of like, what do you call it? Attention was brought to the fact that Nadia was dealing with this terrorist or whatever. Like, do you know who she went to? Do you know who she went to? And we're like, no. Who is this guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is the first time we've ever heard of this guy. And then not only is he like one of the most dangerous terrorists in the world or something, but also her dad. We're like, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, this show goes off the rails on revealing things.
Yeah.
On these episodes.
But it's like
Before we get to
pseudo
that-
revealing things, and then we're revealing more things about the things that
Yeah.
revealed that were lies, then revealing things of
But then
Yeah,
they also
so-
like hold Nadia's daughter hostage, and we never find out how they got her. They just kind of have her because we don't know what happened to her dad. They're like, "Where's her dad?" or "Where's your dad?" I don't know, and that's it. That's all we get. Also, we don't know what happened to Stanley Tucci at this point. He just kind of disappeared, like in the present timeline.
Yeah.
Like we see him in flashbacks, but we don't see him in like the current timeline after he tried to escape with
Did
the
he
twin.
escape the spoilers? Did he escape the house when it
I
blew
don't
up, or
know.
is he still in there?
They never addressed that. Also, that was one of the lamest things I've ever seen in my life. Where she's like, "You can't kill what's already dead." Explosion.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why did you blow
That
up
was
the
a nice house.
What was the point?
Dude,
like-
she is the edgiest lord who's ever edged
Uh-huh.
lord. She's like a 15-year-old boy. Like she
She likes.
I'll
cake.
add your corpse to my rose garden. Like,
So the note I have for this episode is eat your salad, because Mason yells at a man.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to bring up this point
Oh,
at
yeah.
the beginning of the series. I forgot
eat your
to.
effing salad.
These two are like the loudest spies.
I was gonna say like they're like, and then like the next line over, whatever's like after eat your effing salad, he's like, "Do you know why we're spies?"
Yeah,
I'm just
you
like,
know why I became a
wow,
spy? It's like
okay.
not a very good one.
God.
God.
And then there's that line where he's like, what does he say? Oh, the question wasn't, can a spy love? It's like,
Yeah. Oh god.
can a spy take love or something like that?
Well, it's like,
and she's like, I can love, but not you. And he's like, oh.
well, also like it's like what was it, the Celeste flashback, like his current wife. This is
Yeah.
weird. He's like, "Do you know what makes a good spy? One that can lie." He's like, "No, one that tells the truth." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Stop! Stop it!"
Ooh.
They love these kind of lines, dude.
Well, it's just every like line needs to be like done with a
Oh yeah,
tell
they're
the
all
truth.
moments. Yeah.
Freak-
every single line is like that.
Freaking Michael pointed out last episode with the camera like slowly
Oh,
that was
rotating.
God.
Thomas said that.
Oh, but
It needs
God,
to. It has to stop.
it's
It has
everywhere,
to
once
man.
was good enough. They're like doing it every
It's
scene.
everywhere.
It opens every episode with that same shot, but the thing is, it still repeats it almost like one every fourth part of the episode. It has to do that like rotating shot, and I don't. There's no reason for it. It just looks weird. Oh God, that annoyed me.
Is this the one with the sub?
No,
No, that's the last one.
That's
That's the last one. Let's
No.
get to the last one.
I have notes to say on this one, by the way.
Okay, yeah. This is the one
Yeah,
where the
this-
meat is.
Oh my God.
And this one did not make me happy.
No.
We'll get to it.
It's also the shortest episode, I think,
yeah,
of the whole series.
So it's like 37 minutes or something.
Yeah,
like
and then
that.
you start the episode. It's like, stay tuned for scenes of the next season.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll get to that.
Yeah,
I'll
we gotta get to that.
Yeah.
at the
I will
end.
get to that. Mm.
Okay, so episode 6, they have a mission. They gotta infiltrate this submarine, and they gotta take all the warheads out of these missiles for the not Helen Mirren lady.
Wait,
Who they're
sorry.
now working with for some reason.
Last episode is when the old lady was interrogating Stanley Tucci again and like threatening her family.
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about that and how stupid he is because he gives her the code and dumb, like of course he's gonna kill him anyway. Like why?
Yeah. That was very cliche by the book moment of like
and like his surprise, like, oh, don't do this. Like you
no.
knew she was gonna do it. Everyone knew.
That was not great writing.
If she had a mustache, she would be twirling it right now.
Like, she calls one of the twins to tell him that his brother is dead.
I'm sorry, but how would that made me mad. I was just like, oh yeah, your brother's dead. It's like,
now do your job.
It's like, yeah, okay. I would be like,
so what?
Screw you, lady. I'll do what I want.
So
you have no leverage on me.
A very poor choice, because in the next episode, in one of the most pointless action scenes I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
They make Mason jump out the plane and get on the sub.
I'll activate your lifeline for you. Why?
I guess he's done this before, because there's a flashback where he's like done this before. So he gets on there. They send the twin with him for some reason to make sure he does it, I guess. But the twin like betrays him like right away. Well, he saves him, picks him off the ship, so Mason can open the door. Mason opens the door and then he like punches him off the sub.
Wait a minute. I don't know anything about submarines, so forgive my ignorance. But when they breach, are they also going forward, or like are they accelerating at all?
I think
so. Do they like breach like this way?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They let him fall way too long. Why did he could just open the chute and like?
It's there. It's gonna be there.
What kills me about that too is when Mason landed and like failed to land on the submarine. Like Nadia's like also like up in the spy plane or whatever. It's like, oh, don't worry, I'll activate your line for you. And then it like this like boomerang like rope or whatever magnet whatever attaches to the submarine remotely for him, and then we never see that thing again. We're like, where is that on his super spy suit?
I do like when like Joseph was saying they open the hatch and like he punches them, or like he opens his chute again. There's some good sound effects because he's like.
Also, where's the Russian crew?
I don't know.
Where is everybody on the submarine?
It's unarmed or unmanned.
It's unmanned.
It's unmanned.
It's unmanned.
Right. This giant submarine.
Well, you see, there was a coolant leak, and they all had to leave.
They're on break.
That's what happened to the Red October. It's just been out in the Pacific for this whole freaking time. Made it all the way around the world. Oh my god.
So Nadia's like, oh, you know what? I have to do everything. So she's
off screen.
Yeah,
off screen.
So she has to shoot everyone in the plane where her and Carter are. She jumps out the plane. She goes, saves Mason, and then they go into the sub. Before then, the twin's like gonna betray the old lady because he's like, you killed my brother, and so I'm angry, and I'll just take the missiles for myself, I guess. And then she's like, you stupid idiot, we can control it from here. You can't have the missiles. And so they go fight. Mason fights him. It's kind of dumb. Nadia goes into the nuke room or whatever. I don't know.
Hold on.
The reactor room.
We get the moment where Mason triggers and becomes the spy he was always meant to be again, remember?
Yeah, because Carter's like, you can do
scene
it.
In the world, yeah.
You can do it.
Oh, and then he does it.
Well, then
wait. Nadia takes this thing that will raise her temperature up to like 106.
Is that what was going on?
Yeah, and then Carter's like, your heart rate is at 350 beats per minute. I was like, there's no way her heart rate
she'd be like dead. Yeah.
No, he told her to breathe deeply.
Oh, she was breathing deeply.
Also, why did they need the thing for her temperature to go up?
Because the security in there, if it detected a lower temperature, it would kill everyone or something like that.
Okay, just melt down or something like that.
Okay, so as I said last time,
remember that part.
I played Zelda through most of this show while watching it, and so when the final episode started, I was like, I'm gonna put it down, I'm gonna focus and try, so I have, knowledge of what it's literally no less.
And it has
mush.
made no difference.
There's no less mush in my mind of that episode than all the others. They're all mush. Like I'm like I was sitting there like, why is she struggling? What is going? I thought it was like it's like a pressurized container, and she's like feeling. I totally missed that bit. And then yeah, like Thomas said, she's just apparently fighting on the plane, and yeah, it was no less much.
Well, when she gets like to the sub too, she's like, "Don't worry, I parachuted down." Oh, you've done it before?
Like, oh.
Yeah, I've done it before. I'm like,
cool, good,
Oh,
good to have you.
That was great dialogue.
We get that. They love dialogue like this,
And why
especially
didn't they send
Nadia,
both
because
of
she's like, she gets down there and he's like, "Oh, you're already here?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm amazing," or something like that.
Oh,
And I was
yeah,
like, "You're both spies. Who are you impressing?"
Also, if the whole thing about her being like I say hotter, she can't really get much hotter. About her like raising her temperature.
Heart was going 300, Thomas. She was getting hot.
But the temperature. The moment she opens that door, it changes the temperature of the entire room, and then they like leave the door open afterwards. I was just like,
"That's what I was gonna say."
What are you doing?
Her heart is going 350 right now, right?
Yeah.
So Carter's like, "Give her an adrenaline shot."
Adrenaline shot. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Let's get it to 500. Let's break some records, man.
Let's see her heart just burst out of her chest.
Give her some insulin, for God's sakes.
Oh,
the
man.
morphine, man.
Oh, God.
Why didn't they just send both of them? They could do a little teamwork, get those things out safer.
He was fighting what's her name, or he was fighting that twin.
I know, but why didn't they just send them all at the same time? Why did we have to? Oh man! And like you said, Carter just keeps saying, "You can do it, you can do it," and then he awakes the beast within, I guess.
Also, this plane is like then suddenly a hover deck thing, and like goes down and like hovers and takes them away. I'm just like, why couldn't it have just hovered and like let them down? Why did they need the parachute?
I don't know.
If this plane can just like, because that's what happens is that this plane like goes over and it hovers over the submarine, so it can let down the line.
So
but there's no crew. There's no crew anyway. There's nobody there. Hey,
where is the crew?
I don't know. Are they all in Ukraine? Like, is that how desperate the Russian Navy is?
Oh my.
Oh man.
Wait. Before the mission, we had that flashback where he's like, "Oh, I secretly put in different credentials in like to like open that hatch." And like when they get there, nothing different. Like he just
yeah. It was like, I've done it before.
He just pushed it. And I was like, okay.
He just pushed it.
Why did we have that flashback?
Can I also say that the what do you call it? When they rescue their daughter or whatever from that previous part.
Okay, yeah, let's get to that first. Hold on, we're gonna get to that right now.
That's afterwards. That's afterwards.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So after this stupid action scene, the most useless action scene we ever seen, they take the warheads, him and Nadia and Carter, and they go meet the bad guys because they're gonna have an exchange for the daughter. It turns out Mason and Nadia had a daughter. I don't know if we mentioned that, but they did.
We mentioned she was pregnant, but it was his.
Yeah.
So
this is the start of the reveals where like Nadia
this
has
is
a
where
child,
really
and then
stupid.
it's like not only that, you're the dad, and then you're like, oh my gosh,
and then her dad is a bad guy.
Not only are you the dad, here are these high resolution awesome photos that I took for you. I'm just like,
the granddad is the ultimate evil. It's like, geez, what else are they gonna throw in there?
Oh, they get other stuff.
There's more.
There's plenty.
Okay, what were you gonna say about this scene, Tom?
Okay, so so they have the meetup, right? And then they have Carter like doing the sniper Overwatch thing, and then they get out of the car, they get the daughter out of the car and like hang her over the ledge with a gun to her head, and Carter shoots the guy,
and she falls.
Drops the little girl like 70 feet, like off of a building. And Mason just like catches her. She's like, "You're okay." I'm just like, "No, she's not. She's dead. That kid is dead."
Whiplash to the 10th degree.
Also,
that looked terrible.
Nadia also takes out the two people to the side, right? The two guards, and then they have that one other
evil lady,
the sub-evil lady, right? And then she takes out those two guards, and then we like kind of flip back to the sub-evil lady, and she's already like 100 yards down in heels, like going like around the building. I'm just like,
why didn't Carter take another shot at her?
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, You're such a waste of time. You just drop a girl.
Also, this whole exchange that should be like a really big moment, right? Happens within like 2.5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Super short.
In the last episode, this happens. It's like
that drop. That's the shortest drop I've ever seen from 70 feet. Because she'd usually she'd be like, oh, but it's like, whoop, like right into his arms.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know it's 70 feet because she dropped so fast. I thought it was just like a little bit above.
No, it is
like
it is like off of a building.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay. I'm just, oh my god, that scene like kind of broke my brain a little bit. I'm just like,
see, I had no idea it was 70 feet. Wouldn't that rip his arms off when he caught her?
yes, it would have killed her, and like his arms would have been like this.
When they show it, they're like well above it. They're like up on this platform. But when he drops her, it's just like,
yeah.
Oh, my brain.
Okay, so we hurt Thomas's brain. But then we get some more reveals that even hurt us more. Turns out Mason was English the whole time.
He's like, I only forgot it. I'm like,
and the fact that he goes back into the accent was, my god.
The thing is, like, I know Richard Madden. Is that his name? Yeah, he can do a very good English accent.
I hope so.
Isn't he English?
He's Scottish.
True.
He is very Scottish.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I know he can do a good English accent because we've seen it before, especially like in Game of Thrones. He does a very convincing northern accent. But this accent was terrible. That was like Jared doing an accent. Or me doing a British accent.
Dang, Jared, you just threw you under the bus.
Tossed under that double-decker bus.
What I mean is, like, this is like a caricature.
It's bad, accent. It's not great.
It's like me and Jared not even trying. Like,
it's like he really didn't want to do it, but they're like, "Come on, Richard, come on, just."
He's like, I didn't forget the Queen's English.
No, well,
I was gonna say that.
Can he just use a Scottish accent and just say, "Hey, I'm
like, that makes
Scotland."
sense.
I was fine with him in the accent. I was like, okay, whatever. They're just gonna do everything in this show. But her saying, "One does not forget the Queen's English," you're like, "What are you doing, show?"
I buried it. I'm just like.
So it turns out that Mason is her son.
Yes, he's like, "Did I forget, mother?"
Very Norman Bates at that scene.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Like the spy version of
Am
Norman
I
Bates.
yours, mother? And then not only is that her mom or his mom, apparently the dad's a spy too, or something like that.
Something like that. But we don't really know because like Citadel made a mistake. It's like, guess what? Citadel like did this whole thing about Serbian terrorists. It wasn't a real Serbian terrorist. It was just this car bomb. But it wasn't a car bomb. It was a missile strike. But it wasn't just a missile strike. It was from a drone. Serbians can't afford drones.
Also, he's alive somewhere, and it's like
possibly, maybe, I don't know. But
so Citadel took out her husband, so she's mad, and so she took out them.
This whole thing, by the way, I was just like, yeah, that's why we don't have spies who operate independently. Because guess what? They don't know what's going on in the big picture. They just have one thing that they focus on.
I think Stanley Tucci even says that in the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
Okay. We've had a lot of reveals, and I was like, okay, it's fun, I guess. But then the thing that got me was like, oh no, we have another vial for you, Mason. Just a backup of the backup over here. It's like,
yeah.
Okay. I even had the vial from before. Might as well have just waited till now.
Well, what I love about this part too is like, did you know Citadel made a mistake? And I'm like, yeah, I can believe that. That's all we've seen them do. They have not done anything successfully in this entire show.
They don't
know how to hire.
Kind of a clown organization, if you ask me. And then okay, so he's getting all his memories back, remembering things.
That's
and
so right in the spine,
and so
that was like, oh,
I know. I don't remember Nadia doing it in this.
So there's two rooms. Nadia's watching him, and then he's like behind the glass. and then the new wife is like, she walks up behind.
I did like that part.
He wouldn't. I don't think he would be hugging anyone like after remembering all that. I don't think he would be like hug her. Like,
I think he'd have a bit of a break.
Well, he did
like, psychotic break. Well, what I liked was like with Carter, like he saw that the other or Mason's wife, now current wife, was also the agent that they wiped, and he's like, "How is that his wife?"
Yeah,
it's like. And I was like, Carter, like everybody's a spy here. Like,
even he was shocked.
And I love the explanation of him recreating the memories. He's like, "Oh yeah, they had the thing, so I just reverse bioengineered it and just got you back, man. Here you go." Just like, yeah, sure, just gobbledygook and flippity flop, poo poo pants.
I put it inside of a alchemist circle and then just went.
Yeah,
there you go.
I experienced your memories in proxy, so I'll share them with you. It's close
enough.
Yeah. Also, there's like bleeding effect that the memory wipe doesn't really work, except when it does with Celeste, which is the prototype. So we're not sure why that one's holding more, considering that hadn't been done before. But Mason and Nadia, they actually do have a little bit of bleed over. I didn't quite take with them. Not sure why.
Do you think Hendrix is Mason's kid, or are they going to reveal in the next season that it's the twin?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing too, is that why was Carter not memory wiped? Because there's like an automatic memory wipe of all the Citadel agents. So why does Carter have his memory?
We
found the plot hole.
There's like,
is he an agent, or is he just like
an agent?
Yeah, it was supposed to wipe everyone, right?
I don't know.
I thought it was just the janitor or something, just hang out and listening to what they were talking about.
I thought he's just the guy that doesn't back up Grace when she tries to tell them things, and they're like, "No, we're gonna do it our way," and she's always like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, you're gonna go down to Mexico. We're gonna perform a surgery on you. It's like, oh God.
And of course, it had to be the guy that was the bad guy. It couldn't be Nadia that was like.
It made more sense to be Nadia, though.
I know that.
In my opinion. Like,
she had motivation to do it.
I don't mind the Mason being the son reveal. I thought that was kind of interesting, except for the scene being terrible. But the fact that Nadia wasn't the mole doesn't make any sense to me, because like she had all of this like reason for her to be the mole, and then
it's like we can't have her be the bad guy. That's stupid,
right? But then we have like this sliver of a reason for Mason to be a bad guy.
But Mason's English, and they're always bad.
The Queen's English. Like, oh God. Okay. There's one more thing that I forgot to bring up last podcast, by the way, because this whole series loves to explain where they're at, when they're at, every single scene transition, right?
8 years, 10 years, 4 years, 6 years.
So
did you see the one at the end where it's like 8 years?
8 years. So in the first episode of this series, it goes Virginia, and it shows Washington, D.C. And I'm like, you messed up there, Amazon, because DC's not Virginia. It's close. It's close. It's on the Potomac. I'll say that much. But it's still not DC. Because every single transition in this show is like, has to make sure that we know exactly where they're at every single time. And which is weird, because I still get confused where the hell everybody is at.
I gave up. I was like, I don't care what. It's a different time. It all blended. Like,
oh my God. Like, this show, man.
Yeah, not great.
no.
Oh, can we get to the can we get to the
reveal?
The reveal of
so apparently this is a spy universe a Citadel universe that we're getting. And it shows us at the very end, the next segment is a new series, it's probably as short as this one, I'm guessing. I think it was called Diana.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're getting a new one. What do you guys think about this one?
Next year.
Yeah, next year.
Why? It looks like it's already done.
I
know. It looks okay. I will say that the style of it looks kind of cool, but it doesn't belong in the same universe because nothing looks remotely the same. It looks like Aeon Flux. Remember that weird like cartoon mixed with a little bit of John Wick, mixed with a little bit of Atomic Blonde. Like that's what it looks like. It just doesn't look. It doesn't look related at all to any of this.
But just wait for the reveals, Tom.
Oh no!
Wait till the main character is the reason the whole thing's happening. No, yeah.
Maybe she'll like take off her face and it's Mason. And
he did not forget the Queen's English.
Where's Stanley Tucci?
No, that's what's also kind of like frustrating is that his character just kind of disappears, like because he's hardly in the last episode at all, except for flashbacks. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's mush, man.
I don't remember him in the present at all.
Because we had the house explode for some reason.
That's the last time we saw him. Like
he's got to be in
before
there,
that.
He's chicken.
Oh, also, like Stanley Tucci's family, like I said, goes down for some reason in the elevator, but we never see their house explode. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And then they show up at Citadel headquarters somehow.
Well, we don't see his family, just Hendrix and
the wife.
The wife, yeah. I guess Stanley Tucci and everyone of his family is just dead.
I guess so. Man.
I guess.
Do you think this is gonna get another season?
Yeah, it's already been planned. It's already been renewed for another season, from what I've been told.
I mean, if they go with the others, like in my opinion, like when the show ended and I saw the trailer for the next one, it's like, why couldn't I have had that one? Because the trailer for the other one looks way more interesting than what we just watched.
Looks a lot better.
It might be more simpler. Yeah.
Might be just as trashy, but like this show is awful, and I hope they never ever revisit these characters again.
Dang.
Or just do I don't know. No, don't do it.
Michael would like to forget the Queen's English.
This show's really bad.
It was
really bad. The last two episodes just blew my mind of how many reveals and like what they were gonna reveal. I was like, they're doing that. This is like every trope you could think of.
Yeah, and like Thomas said, it bounced everywhere. You're just like, where are we and what is going on?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The Nadia's actress is quite attractive, and they really hammer that point home every single time that there's a flashback and it's like a somewhat romantic scene. And one part, I think it's when they're in Paris, is when they're
with the motor oil.
I think it's post motor oil coitus.
I don't remember this motor oil.
Well, so she's like sitting in like an open like an open like button up collar shirt, and I'm just like, oh my. The thing is, then like Mason's character is like in a full like he has socks and shoes on and his pants and a shirt tucked in. I'm just like, what happened? Like, was it just all like vocal play? Like, what's going on here?
He was putting all the work in.
Right. That's what I'm just like. This is a very oddly like.
He was remembering the Queen's English right there.
You can't be out of dress, even with fornication. It's just, oh god, this whole series was a mess.
It was pretty bad. It was not. I mean, for the Russo brothers, and how much they spent on this series.
I can't believe the budget.
Show. That doesn't make sense.
300 million.
The visuals are terrible.
There were no
that
sets.
is the GDP of like name a European country.
It's really bad.
It's like they gave them money and they're like, cool, let's just make the worst thing.
Let's make the camera flip. Every flip was $250,000.
God. Like,
I can't remember if it's this show. I think it's this show, but they said that one of the Russos is going to like direct the entire second season, I think.
I mean,
that doesn't say much anymore, to be honest with you.
They haven't struck me as entertaining in a minute.
The only thing that has been like somewhat, I think, good from the Russo brothers, besides, you know, post Marvel, was that Extraction movie with what's his face?
I don't even remember that movie.
Hemsworth.
We watched it, didn't we?
Yeah, we watched it for House 6. Yeah, and it was good. But the thing is, they didn't direct it; they just produced it.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I remember actually liking from them. Because what was that? What was that one with Tom Holland?
All the time, wasn't it?
No.
Cherry.
I actually did like Cherry. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but it wasn't like Ooh, great. This is
It's
kind
a
of
very different movie.
yeah. It's just it didn't stick out. It's very forgettable. We all had the issues with Gray Man.
Yeah,
Oh
Gray
gosh,
Man. I forgot
Gray Man was the movie version of this show.
Yes, it
yes,
was.
that's exactly
Yes.
exactly it. The
It's
thing
like
is, the
the
Russos
same
directed
formula.
and wrote that.
It's like
That's
Or
unfortunate.
they really like spy stuff, but they try to blend everything they
Yeah,
like
they
into
just
one show.
keep it simple, break it down, then build. It's like you
Which
were part of
which I
the
think is
Marvel, and they're like,
hilarious.
we're already making a spy cinematic. And they say the word spy too much in this friggin' show. I'm like,
Yeah, they do say
stop
spy.
calling yourself a spy, man. Just it sounds like you're a child.
Even Bond says he's an agent, not
Yeah.
a spy.
Quit. Especially in a crowded restaurant.
It's like every
Eat your salad.
Eat your salad, Michael.
It's like every like cheesy spy influence you could get, except not in a lampoon style of like Austin Powers.
Yeah.
See, if it was just more comedic, I'd be fine
Right.
with this show.
Yeah.
If it was
The beginning was
funnier,
funny,
I
a
think
little
it would
bit.
be better.
Mhm.
But the thing is, they take it so seriously,
Yeah.
and there's no room for humor. Because I
know,
remember
there's no humor at the
there's
last
no
episode.
humor in this. I will say that there was less obvious ad advertisement this time around in these last few episodes. Because there's no Grubhub right in front of you. Or Ford.
Or Ford.
That's the humor we missed, Thomas.
I know.
Okay,
We needed it.
even if they had something like that, that would have been kind of funny, like with Sonic. Do you remember Sonic when it had like the obvious ad advertisements, but you knew why? Because they were desperate for money. They're like, "Hey, we could go to Olive Garden. When we're there, we're family."
It just
It's like-
reminds you of Happy Gilmore when he pitches for Subway.
Well, I keep getting reminded of Wayne's World. It's like I will
Yeah.
not bow to corporate sponsors.
Oh man, yeah. So, man, I don't even know a grade I'd give this show. It's like
I'd give this a straight 2. Like,
wow.
Like
Well-
the quality is bad, but it's like a riff tracks movie. It's so bad.
yeah,
that
I was just
you're
going
kind
like.
of having fun. You're like, what are they gonna do next?
Well, the thing is,
know.
I was sick when I've been watching this, and so I was like, man, if I actually were like, if I had a beer or something while like drinking or watching this, I would have way more fun with this movie.
I know if we would have all watched this,
That would be
Oh, this
actually
would
really
be
fun.
hilarious. Like, oh
To
my
watch as a
god!
group.
Like,
God.
we could have a drink every time there's a reveal on
Every
screen.
time they say spot.
Every time they say
We
spy,
would
take
die.
a
Yes.
shot.
Who
Eat
called
your
the
salad.
father? Eat
Oh,
your
man.
salad, Michael.
It's like a 5.4, I would say, for just
man.
comedic purposes.
I wouldn't even give it that high. Like, especially when you have like competent people doing something and you have money doing this, it's like there's no excuse. This is just terrible. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Amazon just gives people money and they make what
I
they
was about to say Amazon needs a quality gate for like seriously, like so much of their crap is all over the place. Like
Mhm.
They need
real
an Arnold
good stuff, real
they
bad
need-
stuff.
they need an Arnold Schwarzenegger to
they
keep everything
need
in
the
line.
chief directive action officer. Put him
Amazon,
in.
Amazon, I got a proposition for you. You give us just $1 million to make a movie, and if it does well,
We could do so much with $1
We
million.
get to
Are
make
you
the spy
kidding?
universe. It's ours
Like,
now.
do you know what we could do with $1 million?
What
Like,
is in the spy universe?
oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Hell, we would just all take salaries and just do everything like bone cheap. Like, I don't care.
Well, now they're going to
We're
give
doing
it to
this on our
the
iPhone.
computers. They
Yeah.
cut out the writers and
Like,
give it to
make the AI write it.
ChatGPT.
Well, okay,
Better than this.
that's not making okay. Like the whole writer strike thing. Like, okay, guys, we got to come up with something better. Otherwise, we're really looking into the Chat GTP like writer here
I'm
because
just like asking him to make it work for him.
yeah, it's like this is pretty bad. So.
All right. Yeah, so I think that's going to do it for our review of Citadel. Like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff to come. And we do have more good stuff to come, so you are going to have to look out for that. And we will see you next time. See you.
bye.
Bye.
Watch a better show.
Don't
All
notify
right.
yourself.